All right, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Breeders Cup Juvenile Turf is Hootenanny, and we are joined downstairs in the media briefing room now by, on the left, Dennis Ward, father of trainer Wesley Ward, Blake Heap, who saddled the horse today. He's the assistant trainer for Wesley. We have Michael Tabor, and of course on the far right, Frankie Dettori. Frankie, I would like to start with you, if you would. Just tell us about your perfect trip, if you could just describe it for us.
Yeah, I mean, Wesley had lots of confidence, and basically, my main concern is never run beyond 6. It's just, and I rode the other Wesley's horse, Luck of the Kid. Yeah, and I know he's got a lot of speed, so I didn't want to get in a speed duel, and he blew the first turn a bit, but once I got him asleep, I knew then that I had the race in my mercy, and. Again, he didn't corner the last corner too good, but in the stretch he just picked up, and he never looked like getting beat. So great for me, but also great for Wesley. Gave me confidence to put him on this horse and his first Breeders' Cup win. So I want to congratulate him. Listen, I'm going now because I'm in the next.
Of course, we appreciate you stopping by. Congratulations, Frankie. Blake, I assume you've spent time at Keeneland with this horse preparing for the race. If you could just talk about your confidence coming in and the preparations the last few weeks.
Well, actually, I didn't go. I was at Keeneland when the sales there, and I spent a week or two there with him then. In the last couple of weeks, Wesley's had him strictly there. Then he shipped him out here 2 or 3 days ago, and I've had him since he's been here. So Wesley really did pretty much everything. I just just overseed everything for him, but all the credit's got to go to Wesley.
All right. Michael, if you could just talk about the campaign that this horse had this year, flying overseas twice, and this impressive performance today, your impressions.
Well, Wesley was bold enough to send him to Royal Ascot, which obviously pleased all the connections. And then, of course, he sent him to France, and he ran a great race there in the morning. And then to bring him back, win the Breeders' Cup. And now the options are all there, whether we send him back to Europe for next year. He obviously gets the mile pretty well. He could run in the Guineas, and there's a host of races that are possibilities for him.
I should mention also that this is the 3rd time you all have won this race, three out of the 8 runnings. Can you just talk about your knack for winning this race and the great horses that you've brought here overall the last 8 years?
Sorry?
Winning the race 3 times out of its 8 runnings. If you could just talk about the horses that you've brought and your success in this race.
Well, I think the first one was Johannesburg, wasn't it? That was on the dirt. That was on the dirt. Oh, that was, sorry? Rose. Oh, Rose. Yeah. Well, he's a very good horse, and this has been a very lucky race for us, obviously. And we had War Envoy in this race, which we fancied quite a bit as well. And to win, as I say, at the Breeders is a very special event, and hopefully we can do it for many more years.
Dennis, if you could talk about what you had heard from Wesley about this horse, and also, if you would, I'm sure people are curious where Wesley is today.
Well, Wesley's home with the grandkids. They got soccer or basketball practice, and they got track meets, and this is his time of the year for the kids. Anyway, he'd love to be here, but yeah, I know he's watching right now. But we've been doing this for all our life. So is Wesley. And he will go to no means to win anywhere in the world, not in the United States, but anywhere in the world. I knew the Breeders' Cup was coming sooner or later. I'm glad it's sooner.
Blake, I would appreciate it if you would talk more about the campaign this year and all the traveling that this horse did.
Well, Wesley, when he breaks his horses, and he moves them around quite a bit all the time. And he spends a lot of time with young horses and doing things with them, and that's why they're seasoned very well. And so when they do travel and do something there, it's not new to them. They've traveled a lot. He kind of puts that in his breaking and regimen of training. So really, it's just strictly Wesley's. I have to give the thumbs up to him.
And this is a question for all of you. As you watched the race today, could you talk about Frankie's ride and your impressions watching it all unfold?
Yeah, I think obviously he rode a great race because he won, but the important thing was that you've seen this horse before go off in front, but only at 6.5 furlongs. So to get the mile, Frankie did the right thing. He just held on to him, and then he produced him. Whereas if it had gone off like he normally does, he might not have got the trip. So he rode the ideal race.
Well, we had the 3 horse in there that was speed also. So you can't let them both battle each other out. They're going to kill each other off. And Mike drew the 3-hole and Frankie drew the 5, so it kind of made sense to let the 3 go and the 5 just drop in behind. So that was the game plan, and it just happened to work today.
Come out that way, it works.
It's beautiful when it works like that. Are there questions in the room?
Mr. Tabor, the farthest your colt had done was 6 furlongs in the pre-morning at Deauville. What gave you the confidence you would get a mile this effectively and win on the world's biggest stage?
Wesley gave us the confidence. Simple as that. He's a very confident man. He said that it would get the trip. And as I said, Frankie rode a different type of race to what you'd seen before, and the plan worked very easily.
Other questions from the room or from upstairs?
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yep,
Thanks.
Lenny. Oh, actually, we do have a couple more if you guys.
Sorry to keep you. Michael, could you talk about the relative talent of the North American horses at this stage on the turf compared to the Europeans? Are they catching up at all to the superiority of the Europeans at this point?
If this is anything to go by, they're catching up. But
Today.
one swallow doesn't make a summer.
Nick.
Michael, you've spoken about next year and the Guineas. I mean, as you say, there's lots of options, but do you think in your mind that would be the most likely plan for him to come to Europe next year? And
Truthfully, I really, it's a possibility, that's for sure. But we have many options, as you know, and we'll have to think about it. But to bring him over to Europe, I guess would be ideal. Maybe we'd wait for Royal Ascot for him, but there's many good races, so we have many choices.
Let the horse tell him.
Exactly.
Gentlemen, congratulations. We appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you very much.